This is a little bit of something different for the spooky season. This is called The Path. It's a pretty neat game. Came out in 2009. I am going to, as you can see, pick between 6 characters. I'm going to choose Ruby because she is basically the poster child for this game. And also, fun fact, she was the first one to be created for this game. So I think it's kind of appropriate to start with her. This is made by Tale of Tales, as you can see. This is probably their most well-known game. This and also The Graveyard, which is more infamously known. Because not a lot of people really appreciated that one for what it was. I can't say I blame people for that, but that's not why we're here. We're here for The Path as it slowly fades into existence. There it is. We're just sauntering our way out of the big city into the woods. So here we are with our goal. Go to grandmother's house. Seems pretty straightforward. I guess we also have an additional thing. Little tidbit. Stay on the path. So that is what we will do. So we can walk forward and we can run. And we could wander. But that doesn't sound like such a grand idea, does it? Before we really get into things, the website for this game has little blurbs for the characters. So I would like to read some of that while we do what we're told. So for Ruby, let me zoom in on it a little bit. Gotta make sure I can read this. The other girls call her Goth. Gee, wonder why. Little sign over there. Don't get distracted. The other girls... Oh, I got distracted. It's hard to read and run at the same time, if you can imagine. Other girls call her Goth. I'm getting trapped again. It's one way of killing people, stereotyping them, putting them in a box, and throwing it away. Oh, look. There's something in the path already. Convenient. But there's more to Ruby than meets the eye. A young lady by now, 15 years of age, life has opened up to her as a rotting flower of corruption. Good imagery. Great imagery. She can see through it all, but remains an enigma herself. When asked about her leg brace, Ruby says she's in pain, but doesn't specify where it hurts. Ruby does not long for death. She takes a perverse pleasure in observing the extreme decay of adult society. But what will happen when she ceases to be a witness and becomes a participant instead? I want to point out the whole thing with her leg brace. Doesn't really seem like she has much of a limp with it. She was able to run pretty good, besides me almost veering off. And she's walking pretty good. But hey, we made it to Grandma's house. That's all that really matters. Looks straightforward. I don't really have much control here. I can basically move forward like little increments up these stairs that I cannot see. But we can just kind of check it out. I want to also point out, there's a lot of things I want to say. There's a lot of information on this game. I would recommend definitely going to the website because there is a post-mortem, like, talk about development for this game, which is really interesting. It's been a while since I've read it, so I'm probably going to get information wrong if I ever bring it up. But also include it with the little blurbs about these characters on the website. Each girl also has their own live journal, which is pretty short and easy to read, but again, little fun things to check out. And there's a grandmama with her taxidermied wolf. That's neat. I don't remember if the live journals really have any great information, but it, you know, it gives the characters some character, which is neat. Grandma looks kind of like a... Oh, I guess she's alive. I was gonna say like a dehydrated mermaid from the hit game Mermaid Lake. I think that's what the game's called. the one that I'm thinking about. But pretty simple, straightforward game. We did what we were told. We stayed on the path. Apparently we didn't collect anything, but that's fine. We survived. And we did not encounter a wolf. But oh no, that is apparently failure. So you know, at least we know where grandmother's house is. I believe like a straightforward running would just be 270 meters. But clearly, we did something wrong. So let's try that again. I do like how every character has like a little unique font for their name. Going back in the Ruby's thing, put that wine in the basket. And we, I don't like the way they all stop to stare at me. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll get a little spicy with it. I should be able to skip it, yep. Before we get spicy and leave the path, there is also a little fun thing here, a little phone booth. So it mentioned it in the quick tutorial when we were walking around. If you kind of just stand still, characters will kind of just interact with things on their own. Okay, she doesn't seem like she's really talking on that phone, but apparently she had a great conversation. So I guess our main goal now is to just do what we want. And I guess we want to go this way. Sure, it'll be fun seeing what's in the woods. Look, there's already something in the woods. And I'm going to put this out there, a bit of why I want to play this game, because this is the perfect time to talk about it. I believe this game was developed on an engine called Quest 3D, which has since been defunct. And because of that, there is a child over there. That's not why, though. Because of that, every Windows update kind of runs a higher risk of damaging this game beyond repair, where you just can't play it anymore. They have fixed it so far, and I've honestly had a pretty easy time running this, which I've seen some people have some issues. But, you know, there's some issues that occur. For instance, I think there probably was a texture on this wall that is not there now, which is a shame, because we're going to run into it and graffiti something. I think with, alright, and then this is our basket. All memories collected in the forest are stored in your basket. I believe Ruby, like, just makes a little sad face, because, you know, that just seems appropriate for her. Guess she wanted to pick it up again for some reason. Don't know why we're still holding on to this. Set it down. Don't need it anymore. Usually characters will say something about the things they did. I don't know if I messed it up, or maybe the tutorial, but paint drips like tears. Gravity pulls everything down. It's only natural. So this child's here, which is a little suspicious. We also can read about what we have for Grandmama. This is for the old lady, I suppose. Yes, suppose. Weren't you told to bring that over? I like how we just kind of laugh at this girl here as she just peeks behind a tree like a weirdo. Let's look at the wine, and I guess we'll move on. This is for grandmother. I hope I get a sip too. Child's running up to me. Oh, shinies on the ground. Let's go. I love me some shinies. 1 out of 144. That's an awful lot of shinies. Pick up some more, but also there is a cool treasure chest with doubloons. I want the doubloons. Pick them up, Ruby. Money, cash money. What are you doing, child? Leave me alone. What's the point of wanting anything if you can't have everything? Very, poetic words there. As you can tell, I'm not very poetic because I just couldn't find the words to describe those words. Ooh, a well. Well, well, well. As you can see, a little bit of a silhouette of a girl that isn't me, which indicates that we need to play as someone else to do something with that well, which is a little bit of a thing with this game. So anyways, I got completely off track, or off the path, if you will. We started picking up these, which, as you can maybe see happened, kind of gives us a little symbol on the side of our screen. The weird vignettes that are happening on our screen kind of help us guide us along, but also there's like a little pumpkin. I think if we pick up 6 of these, they will kind of point us in the right direction to an item of importance. Mainly, if you can see here, I don't really know what the deal with these like darkened things are, because they do not indicate things that we can pick up. Because like these 2 things we cannot pick up. These we can, and these are kind of the most important things. And then like this is something that Ruby would have something to say about, but as far as I can tell, she cannot pick it up. And you know, I don't really know the details of the game very well. I'm just kind of flying at the seat of my pants here. You can see that the flowers we have picked up kind of surround the border of our little inventory here, which is neat. And then, like I said, pick up 6 of them and they will kind of point us in the right direction. That's not the right direction, is it? I think that's towards something else. This girl's doing something, though. She's having a blast. Let's not go that way quite yet. I'm gonna head over here. Just kind of wander along. I think this is where the item was that they were actually showing us towards. We get a little, like, spooky music when we start running, which is very stressful. That, like, quick string instrument and the heart beating. Like a scarecrow and some telephone poles. That's neat. Looks like they don't really lead anywhere, though. They just kind of vanish off in the distance. And by distance, I mean, like, not very far. A scarecrow and no birds. Efficient. Wish I had one like that to keep the idiots away. It's weird that you'd say that when this girl showed up. Oh. Guess I'm gonna take a little nap. Don't come close if you want something from me. Whatever it is, I probably don't have it. Just leave me alone. This really sounds like she's talking about this girl, but I'm pretty sure this is just normal dialogue that she can get. Pick a flower and get like a creepy looking picture of, I think, Grandmama? I'm assuming Grandmama? Flowers like these only last for a short while after they are picked. This girl needs to stay away from me. She's upsetting me greatly. I think if I stand still is when I decide to take a little nap. I got this scarecrow. Oh, look at that spooky scarecrow head. Guess it's mine now. If you give me your head, you will please me so much more. From a silver platter, I shall eat you. I think that's a reference to something that I'm not really aware of. But who cares? There's a flower here for us. Pick it up. So, the pumpkin head you can see is one of these. These are like the more, very character-specific items. As you can see from like all of these are basically going to be other characters. These are more broadly pick-upable by other people. Which, you know, we'll grab what we can grab as is, or as we see it. For instance, gramophone. Unless that's not a gramophone. I don't really know the difference between gramophones and maybe other phones. Also something over there, it looks like. But this is the, you know, the game. Wander, see some cool things. and learn a bit about these characters. I prefer my music engraved in black. Yeah, like black licorice. Give me more... Oh, this is your trail. Now you know where you have been in the forest. Every 100 meters you have traveled, your trail will be displayed. As you can see by that image, it's not that helpful. I think there is a way to get a better map set up, at least to look at. What is that on the ground? Oh, it looks like bullets. That's neat. What is this, a firing range? That's a lot of bullets in these walls. Pick it up. That girl's running around in the background again. A little bit of a weirdo. Guns are just boring. Wish people still fought with swords and spears. Yeah. Yeah, man, gladiator type fights definitely was where it was at. Chill on this couch for a little bit. Cigarettes. I can't believe I have never smoked. I really should. They say it makes your life shorter. So, as you can kind of tell a little bit, Ruby here has a bit of a nihilistic view on things. So I think something over here. What is that? Ah, a dirty syringe. That's neat. Pick that up. Prick my finger on that bad boy. I'll take the path of needles any day. Gosh darn it, Ruby. It reminds me of when I was in middle school and I found a needle, a used condom, and a dead bird all next to each other on the track field. It was a grand time. I'm sure that bird had a hell of a party. As you can imagine, I am just kind of vibing with running around. As you can kind of see, these flowers disappear a little bit when you start running. So sometimes it's kind of a good idea to take it a little slow. We do have a new object that's visible. Okay, so I also, again, got completely off track. There's a lot of things I want to say. And there's a lot of things that I'm very distractible. So 144, awful large number for this. And a awful lot of them. The original name of this game was going to be 144. Because the team behind it originally had a very lofty goal of having 144 playable characters, or versions of Red Riding Hood, because if you can imagine, going to Grandma's house and encountering a wolf, this is based on the story of Red Riding Hood. And also, as you can imagine, with such a small team, 144 is an awfully lofty amount of characters to play as, to have unique things going on with, so they narrowed it down to 6. And as you can see, there's a lot of items I can't interact with. So, you know, those flowers kind of is a carryover of that idea of 144. I don't believe there's anything you really get for collecting all of them, besides what I mentioned, where you get kind of a hint as to where you might find an important object. I believe the hint only tells you where these objects are, the 3 important ones. But, I sure lost... There it is. I lost track of that, like, car icon. Like I said, our main goal is to get those. I would obviously like to grab as many collectibles as I can at the moment. But we are just going where we go. I think that's the car over there, but there's also a fence this way. Again, not for me. Some of these objects that are not... Girl, you gotta leave me alone. Some of these objects that are not for me are also for a couple different girls. I know it just shows one of them, but you could kind of get to them with other ones sometimes, too. Weird, like, overlapping images that we get when we grab these items. Engines and friends. Turn them on, turn them off. Life, death, are they so different? I mean, I guess if you want to go like binary with things, on and off, alive and not alive, it makes sense. The friends thing, I'm not so sure about. With a lot of the stuff we saw when we were at like the Scarecrow land, which I think is actually in front of us, we obviously looped a little bit. And with that kind of idea of friends being a little flippant, never mind, I'm distracted by something over here. Ah, a knife. I can use that to protect myself from the wolf. Cut my veins and make me bleed. A valley or an ocean. Desire or need. Well, that sounds a little, kind of a little suicidal, but if you remember from the blurb we read, I think it does say that she doesn't want to die so much as she just has a fascination with death. Which isn't really something I wanted to... And, you know, again, distracted. There's a lot of things to talk about. Let's sit in this wheelchair. Some kind of bird cage. Sitting on wheels, paralyzed soul. Nowhere to go fast. Child, what are you looking at? Don't you dare sit on my wheelchair. Where are you going now? What are you doing? Just peeking. So what I wanted to kind of talk about, I guess we'll talk about the blurb a little bit. What are you motioning for me? You smelling me now? What are you doing? Okay. Well, I'm hearing some spooky noises, so I'm gonna just kind of ignore you. Anyways. Gonna just circle around because I'm trying to do multiple things at once. Why can't I run right now? Okay, there we go. Anyways, I wanted to talk about her, like, kind of view on Friends. I'm kind of just spitballing my ideas for this game. There's obviously a lot of people that talk about and analyze this game, so I'm definitely not, like... I'm not gonna act like I'm capable of really putting everything together, but I'm gonna just kind of go over things that I think about with this game and with stuff that I know, and maybe stuff we'll see a little bit later, but... and hope that I can wander into something of interest. That's the wall with no texture. But with her kind of view on Friends seeming a little distant and not great, I kind of view that as a, maybe she's a little bit of an outsider, since, you know, goth, but also the labeling of being goth, which she says is, other girls call her goth, the one way of killing people is stereotyping them, putting them in a box and throwing it away. That kind of makes me think, I don't know if the other girls indicates, like, her sisters, or, what I'm thinking of is more like cliques in high school. Like, goth is something you would call someone in high school just because that's, like, the clique that they're in, or that's how they seem to, like, stereotype them, put them in that box, which is something that is, very prevalent in high school. And I'd imagine that, check out that boot, getting distracted by a boot. I'd imagine that that in itself might be where she kind of distances herself because she is the weirdo, right? You know, Sometimes Goth is considered a weirdo. One shoe, nobody ever loses one shoe, unless they also lose a leg or die. Okay, I've seen plenty of lost shoes on the side of the road. I don't think that many people have died, Ruby, so get over it. Girl is leading me somewhere now, so let's, I guess this is the perfect time for me to still talk about things. So yeah, I think that she's considered an outsider and maybe is a bit of a loner because of that. Another thing is that, what are you guys doing right now? She does not long for death. So oh god, did she just smack me? What is going on with us right now? We're like smacking each other. She doesn't long for death, so I don't think she's outright suicidal. Despite her, very macabre ways of saying things, like the cutting and all that jazz. Oh, she actually led me to the path again. That's very kind of her. Usually, she takes you, like, actually onto the path. We could go to Grandma's house again, but there isn't really much for us to do. Or, like, any reason for us to do that, so we will just continue our wandering. So, you know. Ooh. What is that? Oh, television. Yo, is my favorite show on? I love Invader Zim. And... Smiling Friends now, I guess. I mean, this is 2009. I don't know what the Hot Topic crowd were watching besides Invader Zim. I saw, like, a post on Twitter about how, like, Has-Been Hotel cutout was seen outside of a, Hot Topic. And they were like, oh, world's ruined. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Hot Topic, whatever Hot Topic used to be, was not that for the longest time. Because when I was growing up, Hot Topic just had a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas and Invader Zim. And, like, I can't imagine that's really what Don't like that breathing. Can't imagine that's really what the, concept of Hot Topic was originally. Like, what would it be considered? Like, alt grunge? I don't think it would be straight up punk. I guess goth was the idea, but I don't know. It's very, commercial. And as long as I've been around, it's been very commercial. I'm getting distracted. I was talking about the themes of this game, and then all of a sudden I'm complaining about Hot Topic. A topic that I brought up all on my own. Thank you very much. To complain about. I tried to talk to this piano, and it did not want to talk. Where are you going? I think you look like you're trying to hide behind a tree. That's like a chopper thing. From the hit anime One Piece, which you can also buy merch of at Hot Topic. I'm glad we got this discussion out of the way. I am trying to contemplate looking for more stuff. I kind of want to keep exploring just a little bit, but many things are not for me. It's funny that shopping cart was for you, apparently. Because I'm pretty sure that shopping cart is for a different character. Might be able to tell I'm kind of avoiding something. I think there's like one more item that I'm aware of that we can get. It's not in the well. There's a lot of map that we haven't seen. As you can kind of see from that map showing up, it's a kind of looping now. Oh, we also ran into our treasure chest again. And also, with that looping, you think it would be a lot easier to find the path again, but it's not so easy. Ooh, a balloon! So this is also kind of a weird thing, right? I'm not allowed to interact with this balloon. But if we were to play as a different character and then play as Ruby, we could actually go into our inventory and Ruby would have something to say about balloons. Which is kind of the, a little bit of a strange thing with how the items work in this game. See something over there. Many things that are not for me. Poor Ruby don't get none of that. What else? There was something else I wanted to say about the blurb itself. Can't do that. Oh, it was, oh, that was a lot of stuff that I missed by this phone, gramophone. The blurb did mention that Ruby, doesn't really say what was wrong with her leg, just that it hurts. And I mentioned it before too, she doesn't really seem like she has any issues with her leg. I don't know if that really means something, but we can kind of get into that a little bit later. A little campsite. I can understand wanting to get out, but only a fool would escape to this place. That's not for me. The girl is... I guess this is where you live. Please stop smelling me. It upsets me greatly. I mean, the camera shift here makes me think that I can interact with it, but apparently not. Maybe this is also not for me. Trying to think of what even the other object is that I'm missing. We might end up just moving forward. Because we did get mostly everything. At least that I'm aware of. We got the important things, as you can see. But I like vibing, exploring, complaining about Hot Topic. I think it was Hot Topic. I don't remember if it was Hot Topic or Spencer's Gifts, because they kind of were the same thing to me when I was younger. Here I am complaining again. Isn't that fun? One of those had a life-size Chucky doll that spooked me, because if you don't know, I was a big coward as a child. I am still kind of a big coward, but less so. That's character development for all of you folks out there. But yeah, there was like a big Chucky doll that was just in one of the aisles. If you can call like those stores what they have aisles, they are very small. But yeah, I kind of just had a bad memory of that. There really isn't much to say about it. It's just like I refused to go down that aisle because of Chucky. And you might say, why did you even go in there if you were so scared of Chucky? Parents brought me into the store. Don't know why they even really wanted to go in there. Like, I don't know what they were looking for at a Hot Topic. But yeah, Chucky spooked me. What I'd say didn't really help was that my dad would try to spook me whenever it was Halloween time by, like, grabbing things from the Halloween aisles in stores like Target and then, like, jumping me with them. Which is, you know, cool, and I blame him for me being scared so much. But like I said, mostly got over it. At least, besides, like, the bathtub, there isn't anything in here to make me retell the story about how I was afraid of the bathroom for the longest time because of the grudge. If you want to hear that story, I think I mentioned it in Visage, because that sure had a bathroom. And if not, I'm sure I mentioned it somewhere else. There really isn't much to say about it. The trailer for The Grudge spooked me. I was afraid of bathrooms because of it. Mainly because spooky things happen in bathrooms all the time. But again, I got over it. And basically I just had to stall as we tried to find things. Head over here. There's that shopping cart again, I believe. I'm really blanking on what I actually am missing here, which is a little bit of a shame. I'm pretty sure it's... it doesn't matter. I say missing, it obviously looks like there's a lot more missing, but it's mainly... I know where two things are. And I think we'll just go and try to deal with it. Where is... Trying to follow those, like, white strands of hair? Maybe what I would say those are? It's a well again. Hate when my heart starts beating loudly, like my chest is gonna explode. It's a little worrying. Treasure chest again. Not finding a lot of flowers anymore. So, like, this map, if you can kind of imagine, is kind of randomly... Not randomly, but procedurally generated, maybe? Things are kind of placed randomly around. Whatever one that is. And these flowers are no exception. I don't know how they spawn in, though. Like, I don't know if they're... Oh. What are you doing, girl? I don't know... You're hanging out by that balloon again. Weird. Something else around here? So I don't know if the flowers just kind of stop showing up after I've collected enough things. Or if it's, maybe just because I'm actually... I am kind of circling around an area that I've already been to. As you can kind of see down there. So it might just be that I'm kind of in the same zone that I was in before. I also don't like how the screen kind of darkens when I start running like that. It's very stressful. I also haven't really ran into a wolf, which is something that I'm worrying about. Because that is kind of a main thing that results screen mentions. Really, my main worry is how lost I am. But that's what happens when you veer off the path, right? Walk this way, see what's going on over here. See some kind of light source. Ooh, and I see a glowy! There was a shine. It's great how easy it is to end up back to where we've been before. That camera shift really threw me off. That's the camp again. Didn't really seem like there was anything over there. You can kind of see if there's like a glow in the distance that is a place of interest. Like where the scarecrow is there in the camp. Oh, there definitely are more flowers around, so it might just be that I was running around an area that I was already at. I don't know if that's a shine going on over there, or if... I think it's just fog. Gosh darn balloon again. I can't believe I looped back around here again. Why is this child by this balloon? Can't do nothing with that balloon. We head like that way. You would think this child would be more helpful. Oh, I guess they did lead me towards the path again, so you know what? Fair. I'm the one that made the mistake of coming back through here. I saw something. What is that? Oh, that's the TV again. Oh, geez. Alright. Well, hey, that's the first time we were reintroduced to the TV, so that's something. This is the mistake I make when I wander away from what I know I need to go to and can't find it again. All because I wanted one bonus object. Look how much I've traveled. Back by the car. No, go back to the car. We don't need to go back to the car. We already saw the car. Now someone's breathing at me. I don't like it. If only I had more stories about Hot Topic, but can't say I do. That map's very helpful. I'd love to just find, like, a distant glow. It's all just very much fog. I'm gonna be honest. The, white hair seems to keep leading me towards the balloon. I swear it's gonna be the balloon. Just you watch. It's a little hard to use the side vignettes as a indicator of where to go, just because it takes a little bit of time for it to actually, like, what are you looking at? For it to kind of update with your positioning. Oh look, the balloon. Now where are you going? Wow. I think this was the other object I needed. Thank you, child. Turns out you were leading me to this and not balloon. Very cool stuff. Oh, look at you being a little trickster, you. Yeah, that was what I was looking for. One more oil victim put out of its misery. I should be so lucky. Again, probably not suicidal, but, gosh, can't you just have a little bit of a happy thought? Where did the girl go? It has to be, like, close by. The way it's, like, overlaying me right now. Oh, there you are. Let me just laugh at you. Alright, well now I, only really have one goal. I want to say it's this way. Wasn't it worth it for me to wander around a little too long just for that raven feather? Crow feather? Oily feather? Some kind of feather. I think I want to go over here. Oh, over here. Might be something over here we haven't seen. And that girl's here. Oh, and someone else is here. Maybe they can help me. So weird. That teddy bear looks like something you could get at Hot Topic. You know, I'm starting to think I don't really want that person to help me now. Now that it looks like they're dragging a dead body. Seems a little dangerous. There's such beauty in decay. Rust is lovelier than paint. Though I doubt old age will happen to me. I mean, so not yearning for death, but not expecting old age seems weird. Check out this watchtower, or go sit on a bench instead, or get trapped on the bench. Okay, well, I think the watchtower is more interesting, so let's go check that out. Girl just creeping in the distance, always good. I must be getting old. It's about time. See, so that's also kind of weird. If you're like, don't think you're gonna go up or anything like that, to say that it's about time to get old. Maybe, you know, wanting to like get adolescence behind you. If you're 15, that kind of makes sense. Little teddy bear. Two heads on one bear. Makes sense to me. How does it make sense to you, Ruby? Please, Ruby, explain yourself. Sit on a swing and think about what you just said. It's a very, boring way to sit on a swing. Like I do. He's coming by me. I don't like that. So, yeah, I think we got all the items we actually can. Despite the, like, darkened areas over here. Little heads up. This one is the balloon that I can't interact with. And I believe this one is that piano that I also can't interact with. So, I don't really know what this means. Outside of that. But, what's that weird thing? Weird hands. I saw something way in the corner there. I think that was the spider web. Oh, I got a little trapped. Oh, I really don't like the way that guy looks. Look at his weird lips. They look chapped. I think that's a spider web. Oh, and there's his body. I mean, it could just be, what do you just do there? It could just be a rolled up rug. Maybe don't assume the worst from him. He could be a nice lad who's just kind of doing weird things at a playground. Lips bother me. How are you doing, dude? I guess I'll just sit by you. With this breathing. Oh, no. Oh, he's smoking. Ruby did say she wanted to smoke. Here where it almost sounds like a car or like a motorcycle. Might just be a car. I'm starting to think that maybe that boy was bad news. Kind of just on the ground like a broken doll with like that twisted leg. Yeah, Ruby's not really looking like she's doing great right now. At least we're close to Grandma's house, but we slow walk over there, so I'm not going to really try to explore. I don't believe we can actually go anywhere specific anyways, but, I mean, this is our top speed. So, yeah. This is going to be kind of hard to do because there's a lot to kind of talk about with maybe what happened, things about the character and about the things that happened, but a lot of that also kind of comes down to, something else that we will kind of see later. That boy was obviously bad news. I guess the dragging a body and offering cigarettes maybe would have been a good indicator of that. But if anything, I feel like it is maybe similar. I don't know if he's supposed to be, like, older or if he's supposed to be around the same age. He was a very weird looking person. I would assume maybe around the age, maybe like a little bit older, but not like by much. I'm gonna bring up the high school thing, which you might say is a little bit far-fetched, but you'll eat your words sooner or later. I would assume maybe he's also might have been like an outsider in high school as like, you know, the bad boy kind of thing. And maybe they just, you know, started to hang out together and maybe he was not a great influence. And, again, it's kind of hard to try to think of things to say without directly just kind of throwing some stuff out there that we're not really aware of at the moment. Since this is such a slow walk, a little fun fact, on Ruby's live journal, she says her original hair color is green. I think that's just a little bit of a joke, though, and I'm just trying to kind of add some levity to the situation. With the weird filter of the, like, scratchy look, the house almost looks like 2D, but we did see that it was an actual model earlier. But, you know, hopefully we'll feel a little bit better when we get into Grandma's house. You know what? I don't think we're gonna feel much better. Things seem a little weird. Sadly, it darkens when we stand still. You can see some stuff was added to the house, besides the, like, weird neon look and scary scratchiness. These are things based on what we've collected, like the knife, the fridge was gotten from something. I don't remember what it was. Like beer and something in there. So anyways, this kind of weird neon look, and there's like a lot of smoke, makes me think of like, let's broadly speaking say that the boy is more like a bad crowd. I think maybe Ruby just ended up with a bad crowd that maybe like went to like dingy places like this and smoked a lot, like industrial things going on over there. And this is kind of where I was getting the whole high school thing from. We have these lockers here, like a locker, not a locker room, I guess it's just a hallway, but some peacock imagery, and then we have a full-on gymnasium, which if you caught there, the name of the team is the Wolves. Isn't that cute? And here's that bird cage that we picked up from one of the items. And a messed up car. You can see kind of around here too is like tire tracks. Now, there is speculation that Ruby's leg brace is because of a car crash. I wonder what would make people think that. I'm going to disagree, if only because this, like, the way the game presents itself, I feel like these events only happened as they did. Like, I think this car is more related to the boy and what happened to Ruby when she woke back up on the path. I don't know what the deal is with you. But, I kind of am under the impression that the leg brace maybe isn't actually needed because of her, like, being able to run and walk normally. Otherwise, potentially, maybe she did get into a car crash at some point, and maybe that car crash is what led to her fascination with decay and death. Again, these are just takes that I know about, that I'm aware of. We got kind of like a cut bed where Grandma was on the thing, and sudden impact. Ruby's face kind of is looking like broken porcelain, and she's kind of twisted there. I think you see some images of the boy as well. What I want to say, I guess, regarding this is that I believe 2 items that we did collect, which I don't even know if we really can. I feel like the car might be more of a metaphorical thing. Hey, we encountered the wolf. Success, we did it. We found the abandoned playground. I think the car might be more of a metaphorical idea. A lot of what Ruby talked about, and hey, look who's missing. That's not foreboding at all. A lot of what Ruby talked about was, you know, kind of death and a fascination with that kind of stuff. I think the car crash might be more like a metaphor for kind of following a self-destructive road. And I think when she started hanging out with maybe the boy specifically, maybe broadly hanging out with just a bad crowd, I think she kind of like was driving that dangerous road, driving down that dangerous road that maybe could have led to a sudden impact of bad things. In those quick flashes that we saw, I think one of them you can actually see some cells that kind of bring into mind like almost cancerous cells that could be, you know, again, the kind of just destroying yourself along the way. I'm sure there's a lot more that we could garner from some of that, but that's, you know, that's generally speaking how I interpret it. So, you know, time to pick our next victim, I suppose.